Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for taking time to attend our webinar. If we have any technical difficulties, that's entirely my fault. It's our first experiment with actually using the full webinar features of Zoom rather than just doing a Zoom call. So whilst that let us do some fancy things of registration, it is a bit new to me, so I might make some mistakes. It is all being recorded, so at the end of the call, I'll edit that down and make that available to everybody. The purpose of today's webinar is to give you a little bit of an update on where we are with the managed hosted service, some of the latest things that are happening, but really most importantly, to let you hear from some of the operators that have made the migration. We know that we do have some operators out there that want to move across or have started to move across a little bit, but how to commit and what's the process of bringing your service from our previous 5.7 all the way into M10, what you get, how hard it is, what are the benefits, and so on. So rather than just hear us talk about it, maybe we'll at least have Kevin, and hopefully if Larry can get on the call as well, to give you some real world experience of what they've seen, and then we'll go through and show you a little bit of how we can make that easy for you and the processes we have. That's the main purpose of today. It's all about that, what we can do. And so with that, let's have a look. Hopefully everybody can see the presentation here. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a little bit of an overview and a reminder about the managed service and the curated, and that includes a little demo of where we currently stand. For those of you that have not been testing out the curated service, you can see where that is. We do have that now live. That's been operating now in the test and staging areas for many of you for several months now, and it's been live for several operators now for a couple of months as well. So I'll show you what that is. Then we'll get some real world experience, like I said, from Kevin. He'll step in and we've got some slides on that. You can get some questions and answers from real experience and real operators. And then I thought I would show you some things with experience about some of the new features. I know you've heard us talk about the configurable UI, but we've heard back from operators about what they do and don't want to do, and we'll show you some ideas and some ways people are using that. Give a brief highlight of some of the new features and what's happening there, and remind us about some of the other services that you have access to, such as analytics, and so on. And then finally, just a recap on what's actually the steps from our side of getting you ready to do a migration, what's involved. We have a full technical presentation on that. We're not going to do that today. We're just going to skip on to the highlights of what you need to do to kick off and get going with a migration. So hopefully by the end of the day, you'll see some good reasons why you should migrate, and we'll get you on to the next steps of how to do that. Okay, so first of all, the sales guys reminded me most of you are aware of what is possible with M10 and what can happen. So we won't dwell on that. You know, it's a fabulous service. It's got all these capabilities. And that will hopefully give your end users a lot more features in their TV service and make it a lot simpler and more cost effective for you to own and operate. One of the things I would bring out and highlight here is we do now have the web client and the smart TV. If you actually have an LG TV or a Samsung TV, I've tested it on my LG TV. We do have a Minerva app in the store. It's our demo app for for testing against. So that's now possible. That's now up and running. It's not ready to roll out for the Your TV now because we do need some CDN changes, and we'll go through some detail of that. But one of the benefits of going to our managed service is all the different client support now. And then the other thing is here, this last point here, this new improved experience with the curated user interface. And so that's what I'm going to show you now, is an actual curated demo. This is the state of the full curated service as of today. This is a live service. So I'm going to log in using our standard green app. If you were to use the Your TV Now service with any of your branded apps, it should behave exactly the same. And once you log into your profile, this is what the curated homepage now looks like. So first of all, you can see a lot more graphics and we got what we call our hero posters at the top of the page here. So these are now configured that they will automatically use your local affiliate TV shows. They will change. In this case, these are weekly shows, so all of these posters will change automatically weekly. So it means that when people log into the service, they'll see something a bit more graphic, a little more engaging, and it'll automatically update without any effort from you or me on the service. The next thing below that is the next feature in our curated UI is we are offering the smart highlights for the national channels. So we scour about half a dozen of the national channels and we pull out the smart highlights events. So in this case, you can see at this very moment, I have 6 events in here. And if you haven't seen a demo of smart highlights, you mustn't have been talking to our salespeople very recently. But for example, if we come into the basketball here and look at a game, it's actually going to show us an event page for that smart highlights game. And then I can do things like watch a recap in a certain amount of time, so I can see highlights of a certain amount of time, or I can come in and I watch a particular play. So for example, I can come in here and watch 3-pointers, and that is now going to play a playlist that is put together for every smart highlights sporting event. We actually dissect the game, pull it into all its little component pieces, and then put it together. And so in this case, we said we're just showing the 3-pointers. So there we go. Hopefully that's showing out with a decent enough frame rate that you can see here. And it's just going to cut together all of the 3-pointers in this case, because that's the playlist I selected. But again, the other very popular way for people to use this service is to come in and actually watch a full recap of the game in however long you have. You have half an hour, just watch the half-hour version of the game, and it pulls together all of the events of the game in whatever time you have. Or, and if you haven't seen this as well, we have it for your favorite players. So if you have your game and you have your player, you can focus on just what your player did, and it'll just show the playlist for the plays. So that's smart highlights. It's included in the curated service. It's on the homepage. It's the second stripe. Everybody should see it. It's a unique thing. No one else will have it. So it's pretty cool. And depending on the time of year, there might be a few games. There might be a dozen games in here. So we are tracking and providing baseball, basketball, and football at the moment. Okay. Also on the homepage, on the curated homepage, you will get stripes that are refreshed, that are based on the month or the theme of the month, if it's, Christmas and things like that. And this is, again, for live TV shows. And again, these are localized to your region. So that's an automatic function of this page, is it figures out that it will show those shows off your local affiliate stripes. Okay, so that's off live. If, as well as providing the live TV service, you do have the VOD service enabled for a subscriber, then that subscriber will start seeing some of the VOD posters. So this, for example, the Batman here, this is, and the Rocket Man here, these are off the VOD service. If the end user does not have the VOD service enabled, they just won't see this stripe. So the curated service will automatically hide and show VOD based on what you have enabled per subscriber. Other things you will see on the curated homepage is analytics. For this, in this case, the most popular live TV. Based on your region, this will only show channels in your region and shows in your region, and it's based on what's popular at the moment, so based on user usage. Again, more shows here, more TV shows, again, redirected to your local affiliates, and so on. These next 2 stripes are VOD only. So again, only VOD people would have them. Continue watching and favorites. They're from the VOD. And then below that, we have popular catch-up. Okay, so this is all on the curated page. The next thing we have here is we have a banner, and then we have children's content. So this is, again, VOD. This is children's content live. So if they click on any of these, it will take them to the show pages for the live TV. The way it works is if the show happens to be running, which is probably not going to be the case, then it would actually take them to the live show. If not, it will take them to the series page. So it will tell them what's available. So if they could record the show, or they could come and look at episodes for the show. Okay, so that's the way it works. If you don't have VOD enabled and you click on one of the posters, it will only show you the series page. So it's still a way of highlighting the content. You know, we have a lot of live content in your in the Your TV Now service, and this is a way of showing that content. They can navigate in and set a recording if it's not playing at this very moment. Okay, then we have some channels pages. And then we have different genres of live content. So most of this content is all live content. And it's a nice way for people to see. There's a lot of graphics, a lot of things to inspire people to enjoy the service and watch. That's just the homepage. And everybody who has a curated service will see the same page, except it will redirect to your local content. As well as the homepage, the curated service includes some other things. On the grid guide, it includes the new channel filters function. So when you get the curated service, we will automatically add in, or not automatically, we will set it up for you and configure it, the local channels. So here, when you select the local channels at the top of the grid guide, it will actually have now your local channel. So we set that up for you one time, and then whenever people go to any of the channel filters here, it will automatically show them just the right channels. So everybody has got shared movies and entertainment, music, kids channels, but your local channels, we'll configure that to be customized for your local channels. Okay. And then the next one on the curated service is the catch-up TV. Again, we localize this for you. This popular catch-up will only show, we customize this with a list of your local channels, and it will show the popular catch-up from your local channels. And then we put in a stripe for each of your local channels here. Normally we put up in 10, 15, maybe 20 stripes here, and then also a lot of the nationals. And we find this a very good way to remind people that the catch-up content is there. Okay, technically that same catch-up content you can go to from the grid guide, but we find people, this is a lot more visual. It's easier to browse. Look, you can see all these nice movies here for you to look around in. So it's a much easier way to browse and to binge content from the catch-up TV. Okay. We then also localize your channels here. So those same local channels we put in the channel filter, we put into this channel stripe. And this is a way for us to provide a way to navigate all your channels without using the grid guide. So we have it broken into 10 filters here: filter for local, news and weather, kids, and so on. We've got 10 different buckets here for the different channel filters. And then again, if you have on-demand and enabled on the curated service, you will get the on-demand nav item here, and that takes you to a curated page we also do here. This is shared between all of our curated operators, but you can see here the VOD page now is included. At the moment, we're getting about between 100 and 200 top quality, last 5 years movies, less than 5 years old movies, and then another thousands of other TV episodes and older movies in the library as well. And then we curate things. We do things like, for example, at the moment here, we've got a Christmas section as we're getting into the Christmas season, and we'll keep that updated as we get close to Christmas. We just finished with horror, so we had some horror things in here with Halloween just passing, and then we can go into the various libraries. So most of our good movies are coming from TNT and TBS, so you can see we have here the full library of all of the TNT and TBS content in here, and users can browse that at their leisure. Okay, that is the current status of the curated service for M10. This has been enabled for all the operators. And if you haven't seen a demonstration of it or had a test configuration, contact your salespeople, and it's ready for them. You know, we can roll this out to all your users as soon as you want. Okay, this is now active and in production with several operators already. Okay. So that is the curated service on the M10. That's what you can do. That's what people are doing. Now what I thought we would do is actually here. Oh, look, and we do have everybody's arrived here. So we do have some operator experience. We put some slides together here. So first of all, I think we are going to hear from, who have we got? Okay, so Larry, these are your slides. This is from you, right? So allow me to introduce Larry Frazier. If I've got that right, if I've got my people right here.
That is correct. I'm Larry Frazier. I'm General Manager, CEO of Central Arkansas Telephone Cooperative. here in Central Arkansas. I'm the top circle there in your state of Arkansas there. We're in partnership with Southwest Arkansas Telephone Cooperative, mainly down in Southwest Arkansas around the Texarkana area. We actually went in together and are providing this service. We have roughly together 1,400 customers that we migrated over to Minerva 10. Whenever we started this process, we were traditional IPTV running 4 series, and we did a lot of, I guess, build-up work to when we started. We plastered our customers' Facebooks with, you know, Minerva 10's coming, you know, and tried to really publicize the benefits of Minerva 10 to our customers. We also did give them a little incentive. Under the old system, we were charging a maintenance charge for the set-top boxes that were at their house. You know, we publicized that, hey, this $5 is going away. We also dropped the price of expanded basic by another $5 just to make it attractive to the move to Minerva 10. And the justification was that is I did an analysis of what I thought our savings would be on truck rolls, wiring of houses, things like that. So I felt very comfortable about making that additional discount available. We actually had a lot of people sign up before we even started. They were ready to try it. You know, we told them about all the benefits about it. You know, the easy control of the Fire Sticks. You know, DVR storage, all those kind of things that came with the Minerva 10, and then we also gave them just the benefits of having a Fire Stick scenario, you know, and how they would be able to access other things as well. And so we really built up a lot of interest in it. We had a real success in our conversions. Our service department was very well trained on how to deal with the customer. We're cooperative, so we take that extra little hand holding with our customers because they are our members and our owners. And so we walk them through setting up the Fire Stick, setting up the Minerva app, everything like that. And you know, it come down though to the end of it where we had to press people to get converted. And I would say that looking back on the whole process, it was a big success. I really think that, and you know, we didn't lose any customers. We had to give special attention to some of the older customers in our area, holding a smaller remote, but they were able to pick it up. And you know, now we're going full bore. We actually when we made it easy on the customers to convert. If they had a set-top box, we replaced it with a Fire Stick, you know, and we did that. Now they knew that we're giving you these Fire Sticks. They're your Fire Sticks. You know, if they go bad, you gotta replace them yourself. But so far we've had very little issues, and we've really been pleased with the service.
Okay, well, that's a testimonial in my books. That's great. Yep. Okay. Thank you very much, Larry. Okay, that's one operator. As it said here, 1,400. Sorry, let's go back here. 1,400 users upgraded, and what we found was, you know, the attrition and the competitive forces that they were facing. Once they did the upgrade, they've seen 0 subscriber loss, which is pretty amazing. And here's another thing here. This is an example off their website where they really did some of this cross promotion and highlighting the features. There's a lot more on their website, and I see some of you guys are doing that. You're putting a lot of information on your website about the service. So
yeah, we also put it out like on our Facebook. We use a marketing company called Next Tech out of Kansas. They're actually in the phone business herself. They were able to develop marketing for us that pushed that out to our customers, and that was a big help too.
Fantastic. Okay, we'll have some questions at the end here after we've heard from both of them, our operators here. But if anything else you wanted to add there, Larry, or we'll move on to Kevin.
No,
Good.
go ahead, move on.
Okay, Kevin, if you wouldn't mind unmuting yourself, it's your turn.
As Ian said, I'm Kevin Wiggins. I'm Customer Operations Manager for WK&T. The slide says we're a little over 19,000. We've pushed north of 20,000 customers since this slide was put together. I'd love to be able to say like Larry that we didn't lose a few customers in this process, but we did. There were some, you know, those people who are just resistant to change, or who don't like change, or who feel like you're forcing change. Some that had to have that larger remote but because of those uphill battles we knew we were facing, we started, just like Larry said, we started early in the game. We did, I was actually the one that went out in the community, did educational events. We had, I think, 6 events out in the public or here at our office where we brought people in and started introducing them to streaming. We introduced them to all of the options out there. We showed them YouTube TV. We showed them Hulu. We showed them Netflix. We showed them everything out there, and showed them our Minerva 10 platform, just to try to break the ice and show them what streaming was and how technology was changing. We did that, educated customers. We also educated our employees. We had a technology incentive way before we did this Minerva 10 transition, just with employees, where we encouraged employees to purchase smart devices for their home, and they were given credit by the company or given payment by the company to buy those devices. So we got employees' minds started headed down the smart device path. And that's the biggest thing I think that made our conversion so successful was education. Our employees were educated, our customers were educated, and it made the transition pretty easy. Now, early on, we did a lot of personal, like Larry's talking about. We're cooperative. We own the customer. So we did a lot of hands-on in the home. I had one guy dedicated 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, where he was just going to customers' homes and helping them with conversion, the transition. As the process went on, we didn't have to do as much hands-on, but we did our conversions in exchange at a time. We did drop dead dates and exchange at a time. So it wasn't just one big drop dead date where customer service was overloaded on one particular day. We worked through our exchanges, and in the end, we did have to turn some people off. We just pulled the cord and they went away. But I think it was very, very successful. And now the benefits from a management side, the reduction in truck rolls is just amazing. Install times, you're no longer at a video install. If a customer called before wanting 4 streams of video, as a manager, you cringe because you knew you're going to have 2 men tied up for 4 to 6 hours. Now, we go out there, put internet in and help them with a login, and we're out the door in an hour and a half, 2 hours. So, and it's a one-man job. It's just the benefits to streaming and over the top are from a management standpoint are great. Our customers, the ones that we retained, I feel like are very happy with the product. They have grown accustomed to using it. I think there are benefits of some devices over others, and we've learned that as the process is going on. I think the Fire Stick is much more user-friendly when it comes to the Minerva product versus Roku's. I have Roku's in my home. I don't have problems with it, but I think more of our customers have difficulties with Roku's than have them with Fire Sticks. But it's I don't know. It's been a great process. We did offer a $50 credit up front when we were doing these conversions to help, kind of help bear the load of the customer having to go out and buy devices. we did offer the Mino set-top boxes, very limited take on those. We kind of made the rental steep to try to keep it, we're trying to get out of the set-top box business. So we knew that there were some people out there that were going to want those for sure, but we made it, where they're paying us for them. We're getting paid to maintain those. We got very few out in the field. You can now troubleshoot video from the office, fix most video troubles from the office. It's very rare that we roll a truck because of strictly video. If their video's not working, it's usually because their internet's the problem, and we were going to roll a truck anyway.
Right. Okay. That's all good as well. Right. So what else do we see on here?
Yeah. We also had at the time had an employee who was in video production, and we actually recorded separate videos for each type of device a customer could be potentially using in their home. And it's a step-by-step walkthrough of how to create an account with that. If it's Roku, how to go to Roku and create a Roku account, then how to set that Roku device up by, step-by-step plugging it into the TV. I think those were very beneficial to our customers to be able to go to our website, click on a link, and watch a video on how to set that device up and then jump into it themselves.
Yeah, I had a look, and preparing this, I had a look at your website, and I saw you did have a lot of that stuff available as tutorials and things like that. So here's some examples I got from your website, but there's a lot more. Like you said, there's videos and all manner of things. So that's some good experience there. So it's all possible. Both of you guys have really focused on the OTT side of it. We do have the option of the Amino, and we do have some success cases of that. Not here today, but if that's something you require, we can talk to you about using the, I think it's the Amino Engage system and upgrading the legacy boxes. And we do have some experience with that now, so we can do that. Okay, so let's just take a moment here. If anybody, we've had one question come in that was about the smart highlights. If there's any questions specifically, because this is a webinar, we're not talking, you've got to type. Please feel free to jot any questions down, and we'll get to the guys while they're here. So if you wouldn't mind hanging on for a little minute while we see if we've got any questions. The one question that came in about the smart highlights was, do you need to have access to the channel? And yes, the end user that wants to see the highlight must have had access to the channel where that highlight was originally broadcast. So whatever I think there's about 8 or 9 channels that we are monitoring for the nationals for these games. They would need to have that in their channel lineup, in their channel package. Otherwise, the highlight won't appear. Okay, so that's one question. If you have any other questions, type them into the Zoom question box, and we'll answer those. While that's happening, I thought I would show you something else. They're not on the call today, but this is from an operator in Florida. You might have heard of the Villages. This is CNT, and they have been using the customization. So we talk all the time about how Minerva 10, you can have all this flexibility of the user interface. What we've really heard back from our US operator customers is life is too short. You don't have the manpower or the marketing to really promote a lot of the video services. But what these guys figured out is they could use it to do a lot of their other kinds of community marketing. So in this case, these guys are active. These guys are putting in about half a dozen marketing programs every month. And I see it I can see it in the background, what they're putting in. And it's a combination of custom posters, banners, and custom pages that they use to promote community activities. So you can see here that they go to like calendars and things like that. I've actually even loaded up their app. So if I jump in and I change over, so again, here we go. This is the Centric TV. So I've just logged in with just any old account they had there. This is what their users see. So they're not using the curated service yet, but you can see at the top of the page, they've put in these posters. And you can see this is where I got the screenshots from for the presentation here. But you link on any of these and they will take you to a static page that they've made up. So there's these pages they have for the different events. So let's go to the British Auto Club. and there it is, the British Auto Club page there, and it can give them any information they want to have. So they just upload those into Maui, into the back office. I would guess they're probably spending 1 day a month doing this. And with that, they can have, it looks like they put up about half a dozen new things every month. And, these are just like any other poster. They can make them big if they wanted. They've made them medium-sized here. They've made them horizontal. That seems to be the easiest way. Or they could also use the banners, and they can just link them through to a page like this. And that could be an info page. That could be an ad for a car dealership. It could be anything. In this case, they're using it as a sort of a community calendar, community cork board, showing off. So that's when we say curated capabilities and curation of the UI. Maybe all the stripes for the content is a bit too much of an effort, but maybe something like this is something you would want to do. And if that is, let your salespeople know. We can train you how to do this. And it's not that much effort to upload these images, to make the posters, and then link them to the info page. So there you go. Right. Oh, I do have some questions that have come in while we've been chatting. Here we go. Any suggestions on how to handle video-only customers? Do you require them? Oh, somebody deleted out a question. Oh, Willis. Oh, so whatever. Something happened to my question. Oh, somebody's answered it already. Do any suggestions on how to answer video-only customers? Do you require them to take internet? Oh, that's a question for both of you. Kevin, Larry, do you require everybody to take the internet, or do you have video-only customers?
Our new customers, they have to have the internet. Now we had a lot of existing customers that were basically phone and TV only. So what our guys did is they actually put a ONT in there that only has a small amount of bandwidth, and it's running the TV, and they don't have they can't use it on a to plug in a computer or anything like that. So we have kind of worked around there, give them a small internet package, but it's just running their TV service.
Okay.
We're the same as Larry. We had a limited number of customers that were phone and TV only. Going forward, anyone that wants our TV service has to have internet. But we created a package, a 25 meg package that we don't sell, we don't market it. It's not anything that's out there. But we put it on those video only customers, or phone and video only customers, for a charge. We're actually getting paid for it. We did a slide up charge for that, and most customers were understanding, and then they just we've got kind of a corner on the market because we have St. Louis Cardinal baseball, and lots of people around us don't. So they were willing to pay for it to be able to watch St. Louis Cardinal baseball.
Right. Scott, you raised your hand. I've given you permission. You can talk.
Oh, no, sorry. Sorry. That's like when you're on the airplane, you hit the button by accident. I'm sorry.
Not a problem. I'll leave you unmuted because you might be able to answer any other questions we have coming up here. Right. So that's our UI. Okay. So this was my summary looking at what you guys feel free to add this in. It appears that what you both did is you set hard deadlines for a migration with a decent lead time. You made plans on what to do with your legacy gear, and you did a lot of pre-education. Both it sounds like you both did both in-person as well as online resources. And you provided those resources, things like quick start guides and how-to videos. So I noticed you did that, so I made this in my summary here. And you did that local tech support. And then you incentivized that upgrade. So if I was to take it as a summary of what you guys have done, this is what you should be doing. Do you think did I hit all the high points there, guys? Is anything important else we should add?
No, I think you hit it perfectly. I just want to say, when you compare the M10 video platform to like a YouTube TV or something like that, this is hands down. And we can't price our packages at what YouTube TV prices theirs. but our customers will look at both, and 9 times out of 10, they'll come to us to take our package. It's just the functionality that's built in with that Fire Stick, and going through I mean, it's a smaller remote, but it's still a remote, and you can flip through the channels a lot better, and it's just a lot better attractive option than YouTube TV, anything like that. So
yeah. Okay, well, that's good. Okay, so had a couple of other questions here. A question about the UI from the Florida guys. Is there a limit? No, not really. The posters, we call them stripe items. If you're in Maui, if you log into Maui, you'll see a UI element called a stripe item, and you can make as many of those as you like. If you just want, they can be static and do nothing, or you can make them link to a page. Now those pages were originally supposed to be their purchase pages, to do the in-app upgrading, but of course Google and Apple made that, and Roku made that 30% tax, so nobody wants to do that anymore. But you can use that same page, so you can have one poster go to one page, but you can have as many posters as you like, or if you don't like posters, you can do the skinny banners as well. Okay, but no limit. Put as many of those on a page or a stripe as you like. As many stripes as you like. As many posters as you like. Okay, and another question about some new features about the web browser. So, okay, if we don't have any other questions for our Larry and Kevin, of course, boys, feel free to stay on. But I was going to jump and show some of the other things here off our presentation here. The new features that we were going to talk about today. The smart highlights you've seen. I think we gave a bit of a demonstration, some explanation on that. The web client. The web client is available. In fact, I can even jump out of this presentation here, and I can even show you that. So the web client is running. It just isn't running on the Your TV Now service. So the web client is running, and that's all because of the CDN upgrades that need to happen on the CNI system. So that is a web browser. You can see here I'm in my Chrome, and there is my grid guide, and there is my homepage and Catch Up TV, and it's all there in the web page. But it's not enabled on the CNI system yet until we have the CDN upgrades, which are in process. I see them happening every couple of weeks. They seem to be upgrading more of their CDN, and we're expecting to be able to have that go live in Q1. The same thing applies to the smart TV. We do now have a smart TV client. As I mentioned, if you go to the LG store, pardon me while I log back into my system. I don't know why it just decided to do that. Okay. The smart TV client is available on the store, but it's only the blue version, so it's not really in production yet. But we do have it approved. So the big problem was just getting it through the whole LG and Samsung approval process. We seem to have cracked that nut. So now it's it's based on the same technology as the web client. So we do need those CDN upgrades to happen. And the same thing as well for the off-network playback. So for the question that we had there about the web client and the smart TV client and the off-network playback, they are all reliant on getting the CNI upgrade to their CDN, and we're expecting that to all take place over the next couple of months and be ready to roll that out in Q1.
And hey, Ian, Scott, so just, make sure there's no confusion, the separation of the feature, the capability versus where the content rights are. So that would be for any channels that you have the rights to provide off net. So what's being implemented is right now is to get the intelligence so that if a subscriber is off net and makes a request, that it gets intelligently redirected to your particular cache.
Right. Okay. We also mentioned other tools that you may not be taking advantage of. The analytics is up and running, the Tableau system. So this is from today. I logged in. So, you know, on the system right now, 76,000, almost 77,000 active devices. Almost all of them are Fire Sticks, or the majority of them are Fire Sticks. 15,000 Rokus are in our active report, and there are many other reports. There are, you know, north of 100 different dashboards for different kinds of reports. And if there's something else that we don't report on, you can ask us and we can help you develop a particular custom report you may need. Okay, so you can see here. So, you know, here is the majority of our devices are all the stationary devices. So that's your connected TV devices here. So analytics is there, ready to be used, guys. You've got to just find some use for it. And what else was I going to show you on my list here? Oh yeah. If you are wanting to not just use the OTT devices, the streaming devices, the Rokus and the Fire TVs, we do have a whole process for taking your migrating your Linux boxes. We have successfully done that with several operators, so we know what we're doing, and it works with these boxes here. And we will help you go through that process. So really, at the end of today's webinar, what I hope you've seen is there's good reasons to do the migration. There's benefits you will see as an operator. There's benefits your end users will see in the services and the unique offering you can give them. And you can do that with either the connected TV devices or with your legacy amino devices, and we know how to do that. So this is a more technical presentation here. We're not going to go through that today, but we do have that available if that's something you guys need help with. Okay, so if there's not any, I don't see any more questions coming in here at the moment. This presentation will be made available. I will send out a link to everybody who registered to the event. And I'll also cut down and make a edited video of this. I would like to join everybody in thanking Larry Frazier and Kevin Wiggins for taking the time today to give you the wealth of their experience and let you see really the benefits of making the commitment to migrate to the new platform. And hopefully all of you have learnt that today it's available, ready to go. The platform is you know, very powerful, and if you haven't tested and played with the curated version of the user interface, we have rolled that out in the test configuration to a lot of you operators, but not all of you have taken the chance to actually go live with that. But it is available. It looks great. It looks after itself. And your users will see a big benefit in what their service looks like day to day. Okay. If there's no other urgent questions coming in, no, I don't see any other questions. Scott, is there anything else we need to cover today?
No, that is it. Thank you.
Okay. Well, everyone, we didn't even take the full hour, which is great. I think we covered everything we needed to do, and I hope you guys all got to see something new and exciting about the Minerva platform. Everybody, thank you very much for coming today, and we'll send out those copies when we're done. Okay? Thanks, everybody.